Good Thursday afternoon. It is 4 o'clock Central Time. I'm meteorologist Alexa Trichler with WWL Louisiana. Thanks for joining us for our latest update on Invest 93, the Gulf disturbance we've been tracking throughout the course of today. It's moving through Louisiana now. It's pushing westward. We do have some storms across central Louisiana from Alexandria through Opelousas, through Lafayette, and down through Morgan City. Our area, southeast Louisiana, South Mississippi, seeing a little bit of rain, but getting a big break in the rain so far today. We've had a few passing showers, but not a whole lot. But a current look at what's happening across our region. We do have some spotty storms happening north of the lake in Tangipahoa Parish. One thunderstorm here bringing us some soaking showers in central Tangipahoa Parish. Some spotty rain in St. Tammany, Covington, seeing some soaking showers pushing through, but they're pretty small. And most of the North Shore and South Mississippi is dry, aside from these spotty showers that are pushing through. And they're moving west, which is the direction Invest 93 is moving as it's pushing through Louisiana now. We do have one thunderstorm still persisting over I-55 towards Laplace as well. Parts of our river parishes stretching through Lake Maurepas, seeing some soaking rain within this thunderstorm here with gusty winds. Pretty small thunderstorm, but we could get some heavy showers if you're stuck under this right along I-55. Some heavy downpours right now, some lightning as well for parts of the river parishes along I-55 stretching towards Lake Maurepas. And then on the South Shore, farther down the bayou, we've got some scattered showers for Lafourche Parish, Des Allemands through Raceland, seeing some spotty rain, some heavier showers for parts of St. Charles Parish. Luling seeing a little bit of rain, Laplace as well, getting in on some showers, but plenty of dry breaks in between when it comes to the rain for us. The metro area not seeing any rain at the moment. Earlier today, we had some soaking rain that led to a street flood advisory, but that will soon come to an end. It's dry. It's been dry across the metro over the last hour and a half, so things improving there. Really, the biggest impacts from Invest 93 is happening off to the west. So Lafayette certainly seeing a whole bunch of heavy rain and strong storms, frequent lightning and some gusty winds. These thunderstorms impacting them off to the west. Baton Rouge earlier saw some pretty heavy rain, but things are pretty much wrapping up for them and pushing off westward as this circulation moves off to the west further into Louisiana. So we've got the counterclockwise flow around Invest 93. It's a weak low pressure, but doing enough to bring some pretty strong storms off to the west. In central Louisiana, they've got some heavy showers and likely some isolated flooding for them with the soaking downpours farther to the west. So today, really the big thing was the cloud cover that we've seen all day, and that's helped to keep things cool across southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi. It's pretty cloudy now. It's a live look with our View Orleans camera over downtown New Orleans. It's quiet, it is pretty muggy, and temperatures have stayed in the 80s this afternoon. Currently, we're in the 80s both sides of the lake. It is 91 in Bogalusa because you know what? A lot of us didn't really see much rain today. And if you didn't see much rain, it was easy for you to heat up. So 91 in Bogalusa, mostly low 80s both sides of the lake. 80s down the bayou as things have dried out down the bayou. Temperatures have, taken off a bit into the low 80s, but relatively a cool day thanks to the tropical moisture that's been with us as a result of Invest 93. Since it's remained weak, winds not really a concern. Current wind speeds around 10-15 miles per hour. We've got variable wind direction because we've got the circulation moving through, so the counterclockwise winds will continue to bring some variable wind direction. So north winds happening on the North Shore. We've got west winds on the South Shore as this area wraps around and pushes off to the west. And then tomorrow it will be a little bit breezy as Invest 93 continues to pull more towards the northwest. It'll be breezy behind it, and we'll have south winds on the way tomorrow. Since Invest 93 is overland, no more tropical development expected. So this is the latest from the National Hurricane Center. We'll just show you a 10% chance of tropical development. It's just going to keep going down from there. So no worries when it comes to tropical development. It's going to continue to weaken as it moves inland through today. So don't have to worry about that anymore. Much like we were talking about the last couple of days, the chances for it developing very low. It really was scenario dependent. And if Invest 93 did spend some time more over the Gulf, if it had shifted farther to the south, maybe it would have intensified a bit more, but it didn't, which is good news. Who wants that? I mean, nobody wants that. So it hugged the coast, didn't really get a chance to intensify, and it's going to keep weakening as it moves westward and continues farther into Louisiana the rest of today. And then it will get drawn more to the north, like we've been showing you our spaghetti plots here. around an area of high pressure. But the thing is, later next week, it may do a full loop around the high pressure, the clockwise motion. That's how winds go around high pressure, and it could actually come back to the Gulf Coast. So at least the associated moisture with it could move back in our direction by the mid to second half of next week. So by next Wednesday, Thursday, we'll watch another surge of tropical moisture. So we may not be fully done with it later into next week. We'll keep the weather impact alert for the rest of today into tomorrow, because even though this system looks like, it's done, it's going to continue to pull away from us and move to the northwest, but there's still going to be leftover moisture around the next couple of days. So with that, it's easier for storms to get fired up. We still could see some more rounds of heavy showers later today. Not for everyone. Some rounds of showers certainly possible tomorrow and even into Saturday. Saturday, not as much, but especially this weekend. We do see a drying trend this weekend, particularly Sunday will be mostly dry. But with the moisture around at least through today, tomorrow, and into Saturday, we may get a couple more inches of rain. It just depends on where you're at. And if you already received a few inches of rain, like our bayou parishes did early this morning, late last night, we've had some strong storms that dumped a few inches of rain. If you tack on some more rain and on saturated ground, it's pretty easy to get some isolated flooding concerns. So that's the key word, is isolated, localized. It's not going to be a problem for everyone, but we may get one or two areas where we get some flooding possible in the coming days. Just not a guarantee. So make sure you're checking back on the forecast. Download our app. Check us on WWL Plus. You can always download the app. Like I say, check the radar. So don't cancel any of your plans like we've been saying, but you can plan out your day better to see where the showers are happening when you look at the radar, and you can, diagnose it yourself. As we go through the rest of today, we'll have a few more passing showers and storms possible, spotty, and then there will be plenty of downtime. We'll have the clouds around through the rest of today. Cloudy skies through tomorrow, maybe a few peaks of sun, and then tomorrow, if there's enough tropical moisture, which it looks like there will be some lingering moisture around tomorrow, we'll get some scattered storms. Not a promise for everyone, but hit or miss storms, and if they tap into the moisture, which they can get, heavy. The showers can get heavy. It may pick up a couple inches in a short period of time. So that's why we're still talking about the chance that there could be some isolated flooding tomorrow, that one or two of these storms get into the rich tropical moisture, they dump a few inches of rain, and if it happens over a particular place that floods easily, that's why we just like to be vigilant and stay on top of it. So more scattered storms coming our way tomorrow, maybe some heavier downpours in a few spots tomorrow. Saturday, pretty similar setup. The moisture starts to break up a bit and dissipate slightly this weekend, but Saturday it's still going to be hanging around a bit. I still think Saturday will have some scattered rain and storms, some heavier downpours certainly possible kicking off the weekend Saturday. Still hit or miss variety, but with the rich tropical moisture in play still Saturday, that's what we're going to still watch for, maybe some isolated street flooding. Not a guarantee by any means, but Sunday, that's when we should finally dry up. So Sunday should be mostly dry. Not talking much rain at all on Sunday, and that'll be the trend through early next week. Rainfall totals over the next few days. So this is the next couple days, today, through the rest of today, through Friday, through Saturday. We may get maybe 2 to 4 inches of rain, and that's kind of worst case scenario. Some of us may get less than that, less than an inch, maybe less than half of an inch. If you're along the coast or our bayou parishes, that's where I think maybe 2 to 4 plus inches could be possible in 1 or 2 spots in the next 3 days. But it's just kind of a worst case scenario. If we can get some rich tropical moisture and a storm going, this is what we have to look ahead to through today and into tomorrow, but really more so getting into tomorrow as the moisture wraps back around. The flooding outlook through today is still highest off to the west, and that's where the heaviest of the rain is happening, through Lafayette and in central Louisiana. But through today and tomorrow, we're keeping the slight risk of excessive rainfall, meaning it's an isolated concern for street flooding today and tomorrow. So no big changes with that. Still expecting the passing downpours, and for that reason, the National Weather Service is still maintaining the flood watch. So the flood watch is still in effect until late tomorrow night, late Friday night, because of the moisture still around. The storms can still, get into that moisture and dump some heavy rain. So we'll be watching for several inches of rain, possible for maybe 1 or 2 locations. It just doesn't mean it's going to happen for you. It just may happen in 1 or 2 areas that may have already seen a bunch of rain. So that's why we have to watch for potential localized flooding through tomorrow. And then again into Saturday, even though Saturday the watch will be done, with some heavy rain possible. We'll be watching for that too into Saturday. So winds, again, not really a problem, maybe occasionally breezy at times through the rest of today and tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll have south winds 10-15 miles per hour, but any stronger storms that can develop in the coming days, isolated stronger storm could gust up to maybe 40+ miles per hour. So I mentioned the high pressure that's going to build in from the east and head in our direction later this weekend. That'll help push Invest 93 and its associated moisture up into the north. But since we're going to have high pressure come our way, the winds around the high pressure clockwise, we could possibly see that moisture wrap around it 1 week from today. So in the meantime, at least for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, mainly dry. We finally dry up. We heat up with the high pressure coming our way across the central Gulf Coast. So temperatures back in the mid-90s by Monday and Tuesday. But then here's this associated moisture coming back possibly in our direction on Wednesday. So this is Wednesday, July 23rd. So mid to late next week, we'll have to watch for the tropical moisture coming back for round 2. So late next week, we'll watch it to see what it can do. Can it spend some time over the Gulf and develop? Is it going to be similar to what we're seeing now? Will we just have some rounds of heavy rain? We'll just kind of have to wait and see for mid to late next week. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Quick look at the 7-day for southeast Louisiana and South Mississippi. With the cloud cover today and tomorrow, it's certainly not as hot. Temperatures will be in the 80s tomorrow afternoon. We'll have some more passing showers and storms the next couple of days through Saturday. And then this weekend on Sunday, we dry up, heat up into the low 90s, mid 90s early next week with mainly dry weather and more sunshine. But make sure you check back in for later next week with more storms and tropical moisture returning. So thanks for tuning in with our hourly updates. We will be back for the WWL Louisiana News at 5 for the latest.